We love it. Sometimes we get all different sorts of messages, everyone, but hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of CSI, Create a Source of Inspiration. This is a 20 to 30-minute hit of uplifting, showing you new perspectives of how you can get inspired and hopefully resets you if you're not having the best day in the world. And we want to bring you a better day, a more loving day. And I am Karina Carj'an, your host. Our co-host is Colleen, and our special guest today is MoNique Holland. Hi, MoNique. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We just absolutely love it. Now, MoNique has several things that she does do. Sound baths are one very large portion. She is a self-caring advocate. So, what does that mean? Well, a lot of us don't take care of ourselves enough now, do we? No, we don't.
Oh, we don't.
No one bit. So, we need an advocate for this. No matter how many notes we put on ourselves, I do post-it notes to try and remind myself, and sometimes that's just not enough.
Yeah.
So, what I would love to do is welcome MoNique to you, beautiful audience. We're so grateful that you're all here and you tuned in. MoNique, welcome.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here with you and Colleen. This is just a breath of fresh air. I just want to thank you for the opportunity of being here. And yes, when you talked about self-care, we all need that self-care advocate, cheerleader. We need that. Sometimes we need to, have that person, they say we have the two things on the shoulder. I'm kind of in the middle to make that triangle to be like, yes, you can do it. Take that deep breath.
Exactly. Well, as you know, MoNique, what I love to do is ask our guest of what is inspiration to you.
Yes.
This offers different perspectives for anybody that's listening that has a conception about inspiration only comes from the cosmos. And they don't understand that it can be anywhere in their daily life, the smallest of beautiful things, and it can light you up. So, we would love to hear what inspires you.
Um, I'm going to state thinking. The word that comes to mind for me is honor. I'm going to say learning to honor. I think um, that would be my inspiration, learning to honor, you know, myself. Haven't done a throughout my life. I haven't done a lot of that. Didn't know how to do it. We have these words, we have these definitions, but for me, it's the honoring of myself. If I was to think what inspires me is learning to honor myself, um, and learning to make decisions and trust myself. Yeah.
That is so important
Mhm.
because a lot of times people don't recognize the self talk, and the
Yes.
self talk, more than not, is not an honoring, respectful, valuing, worthiness conversation that we have, is it?
It's not. It's not at all. And when I think from my experiences, I look at them differently now. They're my learning lessons. And when I think about the honoring part, that dialogue is so crucial. That repetitiveness, it's something, then it goes into autopilot of things, and you're saying things before you even recognize that you said those things. So in honoring it, I now I look at, what I'm saying, how I'm talking to myself. Um, I take time with it. The honoring and time and taking time with it. So yes, the dialogue, it's with honoring myself, it has me paying more attention to how I speak to myself on a daily basis. That was a
Mhm.
process, but yes.
It's always a process. It's meant to be a process. So when you do honor yourself,
Yes.
how does that make you feel?
Mhm.
What happens differently in your life?
Oh, mm. Oh my goodness, I could get emotional. But what I'll state, what
It's
happened
okay. We're all here for
when
you.
I think about that honoring and that self-talk and what you say, what happens. I've gotten to a point, like I can say, going back to my childhood and thinking about when I used to hum.
Mhm.
It's hoping to me to go back to the things that, as life is lifing and happening. It's taking me back to full circle to the things that I honor, and I feel as though I have my own back on in those type of things. So it would be, I feel a sense of joy that I haven't felt, and oh my goodness, in decades. Um, and that's going to be, I think, the best thing for me is the joy that I feel with doing that. Um, when I'm alone, or if I'm in a crowd with other people and doing things, I feel as though like I'm here because I've decided to be here and be a part of that, and then I can be present. And I want to say, like you started off, the little things. I'm not those little things. It calls me to pay more attention to those, the things that I've been taking for granted when I start to honor myself. That's what it does. But the joy that it gives me, that internal joy, I feel. Haven't felt that in a long time.
And it
So
brings you more in a state of gratitude,
yes,
as you just mentioned, which, by the way, folks, it does raise your frequency. You're in joy instead of a negative spirit. Your frequency is higher. That means you're emitting more beautiful energy out into the world. People will respond to you more positively. Also, at the same time, you become more astute in your discernment of what you put yourself in. So
that's
we love that. We absolutely love that. So honoring oneself is a learned process. It can be cultivated for sure. And yes, as children, there are so many things that got imprinted on us
yes,
that as the adult, unless we stop and reflect and notice,
yes,
we're on automatic pilot and we're just perpetuating the old programming that we tend to relearn after a period of time does not serve us in any way. But we have to take the action. It's always about us taking the action, even when we're quiet. In the observing, the noticing is literally taking action. So that is wonderful. So, see, folks, everybody can start to honor oneself more
yes.
and feel more joy. And the more inspiration comes, which then puts you into a newer behavior pattern that you want to stop and notice and take the time for yourself because you are the most precious thing you could possibly have in your life.
So true. It's so
So,
true.
thank you for that. So,
Mhm.
of course, I'm going to ask you. I know you have several stories. Okay, I know that. But right now, as you're with us in this particular audience, what do you feel as a story that you would love to share with the audience that is an inspirational story?
Okay. When I think of that, well, one story that I can think of, where it actually got me to start doing this, back during the 19 era that we had. I was wearing a lot of hats, as we all do, wearing a lot of hats. And this one particular day, I was going to the grocery store and got to the grocery store. And like you said, you're on autopilot. So I jump out the vehicle, leave the car open, go in the grocery store. No notice that I left it open. No clue. I just went in doing my thing, and then all of a sudden I hear, because it's a local grocery store, they know me and they're paging. Someone left their vehicle open in the parking lot. You need to go check it. So they described it. I go up to the front desk and go out, and they was like, "Oh yeah, it's open, and um, you need to go out and close it." And I was doing a lot for everybody, but not doing not doing enough for me, not honoring me, not taking any time for me, just everywhere, but how can you say it, nowhere, in that essence of that. And when I came home, when I drove home, just normally I don't listen to any music or anything. It's just in silence. So as I'm driving home, I get back home and I just broke down and just, I did cry, but I was just like, you have to start, taking time for yourself. You have to start honoring yourself. You can't continuously operate from running on fumes. You can't continuously keep doing that. You do better, and other people in your life can benefit from you being your best. You being your best. You fill up with energy. You taking time for yourself. You caring for yourself. And my dialogue that day was one of the first days that it began to change. It became the change where I wanted to yeah, where I wanted to honor myself. And I just, started with, and one of the other things that I learned, it helped me to be vulnerable, because a lot of this, that suffering in silence that you do, you want to
Oh
be the
yeah.
strong person. This is some of the dialogue that's going on, not wanting to be vulnerable around other people. So those are the kind of things, when I start honoring myself, I had to learn how to be vulnerable with myself. And one of the things was I started with, people that I felt comfortable with to do that. I started sharing, what was going on with me. And even if it was just them having a good listening ear, that helped. Because the dialogue before was like, you don't say anything. You keep this to yourself. You're gonna work it out. You'll figure it out. Doing all of that. And I change, when I start honoring myself. This is not. I said, you're here, to learn, to live, to grow. Um, but the way that you're doing it, it's at a detriment. So that day, I did a lot of, I guess you can say, soul searching, with myself, and that process of learning to honor and start changing the dialogue. I was like, no, we're doing something different, um, because I was literally running around, just trying to keep up and do everything, and not
Yeah,
wanting to really jump
everything for everyone else.
for everyone else.
Yeah,
And
and you let yourself get depleted. But
yes,
I have a quick question.
yes,
What song, was there a particular song that started the trigger of this?
it would have been, when you say song, it would have been, I have, and I used it. This is not a song, but it's a mantra that I would
Okay.
say. I'm out of here. Literally, I'm out of here. If you would ask some of my family members, the mantra was, "I'm out of here." They was like, "Why are you always saying I'm out of here?" It was so auto that I didn't even know that I was saying it. So I was like, that dialogue had to change. I was like, "You're out of here because one, with honoring yourself, it helps you to don't not even about really taking yourself for granted, but to start to form a relationship. My honoring helped me to start a relationship with myself, which
Mhm.
I didn't have. The relationship that I did have, it was an auto relationship. It was like, you do this, you have to do this, and this, expectations, living up to all of that. But when I learned in regards to honoring myself, the dialogue changed because I had to stop, I had to pause, I had to reflect, I had to, the person in the mirror. When you say, if you want a song, there it is, the man in the mirror, the woman in the mirror. That was MoNique. I had to turn around and, who's the woman in the mirror? It was MoNique. And I was like, I had to, turn around and really, stop and look at her, and state, you want better you want better in your life. You want to do better in your life. You want to feel better about you. And the better you feel and the better you treat yourself, then others can mimic and do the same thing. But if you're doing things that are are harmful to yourself, whether it's how you're speaking to yourself, what you're eating, what you're thinking, those type of things. So honoring, did a lot for me. And with that story, so it would be a couple of things. I'm out of here, and turning around and being like, not peeking, but turning around, but like, who's that in the mirror, and what are we, how are we going to make these changes in our life? So yeah, did a lot of mirror work as
A
well.
lot of mirror work. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And the reflection does come back
Yes.
right at us too. It really does. The reason why I asked about a song, because you did mention when you got back in the car and you turned the music on, then you felt like starting to cry as the release. I know that was a release feeling of a recognition. Sometimes music itself, the vibration of a song will just reach us in the heart,
Yes.
and we don't know what bubbles up, but stuff that we've been stuffing down
Yes.
will eventually bubble up, and we'd like to be more prepared
That's
to welcome that and say, oh, I haven't spent time with you for a long time. Do I even know who you are anymore?
hmm.
And
That,
who do I want to be?
yes. 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 I used to always jump to, and my music is normally a silence, because I normally, if I drive, I don't drive with anything on. So my silence spoke to me in a different way this time. I want to add that it spoke to me in a different way this time. Whereas I would use silent as a, you can use it as a defense mechanism. And I choose not to do that anymore, where I could, the elephant in the room, or trying to hide under the rock, or all of those cliches, all of those type of things. And I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to, I just felt that day like a burden has been lifted off of my shoulder. I just felt, I felt like I could breathe. In all honesty, I felt like I could breathe again, with having that dialogue, that cry out, and still moving, forward. I just felt a release, and just a wonderful release with myself. And the what else did I feel? I felt hmm, it was a quiet, but it was a different quiet. That's what I'm gonna say. It was a different silence that I could feel.
It's funny. Is something trying to interfere with the silence at the
Yes,
moment?
yes, it is. It is. It is. It is. It is. And I was just
But
like
too
sitting
bad.
here trying to
It's
think.
like,
I'm trying to, pull, pour forth. But normally I am in silence, but in silence there is, I don't know if there's levels to them, but I know the
Hmm.
silence that I had before versus me making that, like transmuting the energy, it was different.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Absolutely. In Sufi, the it's the Sufi master used to always say it's actually the knowledge is actually in between the silence. So there's silence, but then there's something even more, and it resides inside that silence. So yes, there is a very deepness that
yes,
you can reach when the soul's ready to accept it.
right,
But I think it was a beautiful thing to begin with that your store recognized
yeah,
your car
yeah,
being left open, and you were able to receive that message. That just triggered something within you, and they showed a caring for you. Now, I don't know how many supermarkets will even bother doing that, local or not.
yeah,
So that alone was a beautiful gift. And it may seem, oh, somebody just left their car unlocked, here's the car, go unlock it. But no, that itself is a gift.
that is, that is,
And it's one of the small things that we might brush over, but actually, your soul didn't let you brush over it. So
not,
that's so so the grocery store noticing that your car was open and made the announcement started to put you on this path to stop for a moment and recognize that all you're doing is running on empty,
yes,
and you
definitely,
can't keep going that way. And no, we're not supposed to be going that way.
yeah,
But you have, MoNique, some beautiful things now you've developed to help support
yes,
other people, to allow them that reset space, that quiet space, that honoring space. And so I know you have a couple of things.
yeah.
I know we were talking about the sound bath and things, but would you like to share that with the audience?
Yes, I would. On April 26th, at the John Hines Refuge, which is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, from 2 to 3, I'll be doing a sound bath. It is free to the public. And then on Sunday, April 27th, I will be hosting as an online virtual reset, I'm going to call it, reset, where I'll be focusing on the solar plexus chakra. If you're interested in attending, you can notify me at Your Healthy Mojo at IG, X, or either YouTube. And I did put
Yes,
my,
and I have that. I'll put all of that in the
mhm,
description.
yeah,
So you don't have to worry, folks, about writing it down. I'll have it there for you.
thank you.
And so you can, and I would love for you to follow MoNique and take some time for yourself.
Yes, definitely.
It's it makes a world of difference because now you're giving yourself the message that you matter,
Yes,
that
that's
you are worthy of the time that you give out to so many other people.
true.
It will shift your life
Mhm.
dramatically. So we look forward to that, MoNique. Of course we do. Um, in a few months, we will be doing a longer program of holistic health on topic with MoNique to go a little bit deeper about the sound baths and resetting of what that really means. So I hope you catch some of these before you end up seeing her back on the schedule. and we will love to have you back. And a quick little note also, for those that came to our live interactive workshop on March 27th of Source Energy, the spiritual science of designing reality, we are continuing that and going a little deeper. Even though you might not have been able to come to the first one, it's perfectly okay, but we do have the replay there for you. And we are going to be focusing a little bit more on the art of creation. Source Energy continues designing reality. And that is next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will have the registration link in the description as well for you, but also you can come and join us live. The advantage of coming into the Zoom Direct is that you get to ask your questions and get live answers. So we would love to have you. And of course, we want you to join our tribe. Subscribe and join our tribe where, every month there will be at least one free gift of guiding tools, if not more. We want to keep helping you on your beautiful journey in any way we can. And so anytime there's a subject that you would love to go deeper into, please just put it in the comments and over in the post, and we will catch it and we will get back to you, I promise. And we do have a third thing coming up this month on what's the date? I think it's the 20th of April. I almost said March, guys. We're in April. And so we have many things coming up, and we want to thank all of you for being with us live and or even the replays, because whatever time you dial in will be the right time for you to receive the information, because this is all in an energetic transmission. So a lot of barriers really don't matter if you can accept that, but it's okay if you can't. We'll still work this way anyhow. And we are so grateful that MoNique, you were able to come and be with us today. We really, really appreciate you. And we love Colleen to man the fort if anything goes sideways on us, but we came through in a beautiful way. So we want to send love and blessings to you all. And thank you for tuning in. Any last quick word you would like to leave with the audience, MoNique?
Just take care of yourself. Take up some moments to take care of yourself. Yeah.
I love that. And Colleen, any last word? I know you're running on fumes right now, taking care of your mom.
Well, I would say this message is, as always, very divinely, the timing is perfect. I needed to hear this for myself, MoNique, as well. So thank you both. This was beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Pauline.
We're going to leave you now, send you off with such blessings and love, everybody. God bless.
All right. Goodbye. Thank you.
Hope to see you next week.